Okay, so I'm now going to do the boat, and it's going to be coming towards us, and let's begin. I was wondering whether I should try and do a blue boat, but normally they're white, so maybe I should go for a really light purple. Let's give it a go. Got the worries about this. I've never done this before, but there you go. So first of all, I think about how long's my boat going to be. About this long. And it's curved. And then here we've got the front of the boat. Like I said before, these curves are beautiful, but they can make painting a bit tricky. Okay. Yeah, and I think I'm really going to exaggerate the front of this boat. Look at that. Can you see that big curve I'm doing there? And then this nice curve here. And just going to do this. Ooh, a bit red, but I'll just leave it. Just wanted to get a nice edge there. I'm just going to spray it because once again I'm getting a wet bottom, and let's see. Let's make this bottom a bit darker, shall we? Actually, this bit, it kind of goes in here, and it is actually darker. So that looks quite good to do that. And it's correct. I do use my artistic license a bit too much, I think, but I'd sooner be like that than an overly serious artist. It just seems a bit of a contradiction, that does, a serious artist. You know, one of these rule followers. But there you go. And then I'm making it darker. I like to think art is one of the things where breaking the rules is to be encouraged. that might make me sound like an extreme libertarian, but I'm not. But I like to think in watercolour painting you can let your hair down a bit and really have some fun and play around. Oh look, that worked out lovely, didn't it? I wasn't expecting it to be so good. But it's drying out and I haven't done the top yet. But can you see how I've done these little marks, and sometimes I join them and sometimes I don't. And because I haven't done the top bit, I haven't thought about how that's going to get reflected here. So I'm just guessing, because this is drying out very quickly, and so I have to do it soon, otherwise no chance. Yeah, and you get these real weird little, I'm not sure if you call it a cockpit or steering bit. They're quite interesting in Japan. You get all different shapes. But these Japanese fishing boats, they tend to be very long. Okay, that's a bit messy, but it works. And let's give like a little bit of a post at the front, like that. Something there. And there might be some kind of railing or something here. This is all just messing around and guessing, but it kind of looks good. With time, you'll just get a feeling for like adding little things that might not even be there, but they end up really adding to the picture. Ooh, this is a dry area. I shouldn't have gone there. Okay, or an almost dry area. If it was dry, it wouldn't be a problem. Okay, so then I'm going to have my fisherman maybe here. Okay, and I'm going to have a post about here. Oh, and I might even try, let's do a thin line. Maybe it should be a bit high. Maybe it's a bit low here. See where I'm going? There we go. That'll do. And just wipe out that. Yeah, wet my brush, dab it, and then maybe I can get a white line here which would look good like a highlight. It's still a bit too wet, I think, for that. So maybe if I dry my brush, I might be able to get a little white line which would act as a highlight. Yeah, oh, great stuff. Just spray it a bit. You can see where I painted again, that was a mistake. And you can also see in a way that it's a bit too dark here, so I'm gonna dry my brush out a bit and then I'm just going to wipe this paint out. Now, I don't recommend you do this, but I like to think I've got a good feeling of how wet or dry the paint is, and that just comes with a lot of time and practice. And once you get that feeling, that sense, you can sometimes correct things. So like there, I could correct that a little bit. Let's have a look. I'm quite happy with this. Oh yeah, posts. Oh, they're nice. And then wet my brush and let it just flood in to these flags like this. Isn't that lovely? We can even try and make one of them blue. Oh, here we go. Here's a bad idea. Ideas can be a bit dangerous. Oh yes, it worked. Shall we try and do a red one? I'm getting carried away now. Getting a bit excited. Okay, here we go. First I'm just doing pure water, because I don't want it to be a perfect red. I want it to be like intense red in one bit and then fading into a light red, if that makes sense. So here it's very, very red, but I hope it will get softer. It's not doing it, it's being resistant. Oh yeah, there, can you see that? We've got a real red bit here and a softer bit here, and it looks nice, doesn't it? I think it looks nice. Okay, yeah, I'm really happy with the flags. I think the flags are the most successful part of the whole painting. Now this is getting dry, and what I want to do now is, I said I was going to do these like things on the side of the boat. I wish I hadn't said that now, because they're quite difficult. So like this, hopefully this is wet, I mean dry, and at first it doesn't matter too much this, because I want it to be dark at the bottom. It's quite big, isn't it? Not sure if they're normally that big. Okay, quickly get rid of it. Ooh, make it a bit shorter. There we go. So hopefully you're learning from all these mistakes I'm making. I wish it was intended. Okay, so there we go, there's one. And then what you do is you just wipe it out. Takes a little bit of time, but bit by bit it should start to come out. And it's still too big. I should have made it quite a bit smaller than this, but as long as you get the idea. Okay, here we go, bit there. Okay, there we go. So that's huge, but maybe you get the idea. And shall we do just one more? Just here. Try and make it a more aesthetically pleasing size. Although in Japan, one of the things I like is they have all kinds of things hanging off the side of the boat. Tires and these things, and they don't really care about it looking that good, just as long as it works. Okay. There we go. And a bit of red. Trying to get a purple, because that'll look like a kind of shadow. Yeah, like that. And perhaps this, I need to take more paint away. And because I'm impatient, I'll just use tissue because it's super powerful. Yeah, that looks a bit better. I would recommend you use tissue a lot, because I tried it one time for skies and I hated it and I just gave up. And then for some reason, can't remember what it was, I just started using it again, and I kept using it, and sometimes I didn't like it, but sometimes it gave me absolutely amazing effects, unbelievable effects. So it's very useful, very, very useful. So I completely changed my mind about that. Okay, so I hope you can't see the bald patch on the top of my head, but if you can, then apologies about that. I never even knew I had one until my wife told me. Very thoughtful. Okay, anyway, let's not get distracted. Here we go, it's getting there. You can see I've wet the brush, and this is just water, and I'm just wiping the surface in order to get it whiter. And then really I should try and make this graded wash. And I'll just try and do a dark bottom. Okay, like that. Oh, so I did manage to do it after all. I'm trying to get that curvy shape, yeah. And here, it's a bit like that. Oh, that looks quite good. Sadly, this one is huge. Yeah, they actually even use polystyrene, I think, for these things. Okay, there we go. So I might just add a figure, just for fun. This video clip is getting quite long though, so I'm a bit worried about that. Might cut off at any moment. Sometimes happens. So this man has got an arm coming out here and an arm coming out here, and this time we're going to do him with a net. Now I should leave this to dry before I do this, but sadly I didn't. But there we go. Finished. Oh, I might just do a hat. And there we go. finished.